Hi, I'm Hamish Black, and welcome to Writing on Games. If you're anything like me, your time with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds can, very broadly, be characterised by moments of agonising tension, with long stretches of slow movement across vast open spaces. Either that, or camping out in a remote building for minutes at a time, positioning yourself in just such a way to get the jump on anyone who dares to open the door. The thing is though, I'm not waiting for the opportunity to get that sick headshot and up my score however. I'm hiding. I'm desperately hoping no one opens the door. The idea of it scares the life out of me. I just want to hole up here until the play area restricts and my hand is forced. It's not just pacifism at play here, it's flat out cowardice. What's more though, I've found this cowardice to be one of the game's most viable playstyles. This is something that has perhaps fascinated me the most about Battlegrounds. I feel like it's one of the most aggressively violent games I've played that also encourages you to avoid conflict. It frames itself as some goofy shooter romp, with the lobby housing 100 avatars thwacking each other with frying pans in an orgy of bullets and fire. The lobby and plane sequences that begin every match feel like a highly concentrated form of the braggadocious aggression characteristic of more typical multiplayer games, where KD ratio is a mark of one's manhood and slurs are anonymously thrown around in a bid to project toughness. That attitude though goes out the window the moment you touch down and realise just how brutal Battlegrounds is. It's not just how gory the game is. To me, violence in Battlegrounds is both intimate and all-encompassing, both external and self-inflicted, both mechanical and psychological. It's mechanical in the sense that death has real impact here. The game prepares you for combat in the same way most games do. It's honestly rare for me to enter a house in this game and not find myself rather swiftly armed to the teeth, not dissimilar to a loadout in a shooter. It's just that you quickly find that no matter how protected you think you are in your wacky police vest bike helmet combo, you aren't going to withstand more than a few shots in a firefight. And it's here that Battlegrounds' origins as an Arma mod become apparent. Arma being a game that doesn't seek to narratively highlight the horrors of war, instead attempting to simulate the realities of combat and therefore highlighting the brutality inherent within. In that sense, death comes quick in Battlegrounds, often without warning, without a kill cam to see who did it or where the shot came from, sending you right back to the menu. It means that death isn't simply a number on a scoreboard, a means to come back having learned your opponent's tells, or developing some kind of playful rivalry with one player on a team. It's game over. You will never see that person again. And like that, death and violence suddenly have significance again. And this is how the game's depth emerges. As stated at the start, it's a game about combat in which your best bet is to avoid combat. It really hammers home the notion that every action has consequence. Even waiting around doing nothing in a building is a choice you have to weigh up against moving forward. Is someone likely to come in? Could I better equip myself by moving on? Does it matter? How long can I stay here and still outrun the blue wall? Which, by the way, is all the more terrifying for its lack of context. You ask yourself these questions while remaining constantly aware that every second that passes, every move you make, ups the stakes substantially. Matches can last up to half an hour, but death never becomes less sudden or permanent, meaning as you progress through a match, the number of players left alive dwindles, the play area restricts, forcing you all into a more concentrated area. It all has this weird effect of increasing your personal time investment while constantly increasing the chances that it'll all be for naught. It forces you to play more carefully. And this is where the violence becomes psychological. The world of Battlegrounds is so brutal that in your desperation to survive, you start second-guessing your every move. The weapons are no longer just guns and machetes, they're the mind games you play with others, and crucially, that others play with you. Put it this way, I can't remember the last time an open door in a video game terrified me so much. It means that of all the places someone could be in this enormous arena, someone has been here. What if they're still in there? Even if they're not, what if they're just nearby watching, waiting for some schmuck to make an appearance? Was the door left open to lure me in? If I was trying to lure someone in, where would I imagine they'd look first, and how could I position myself in such a way as to avoid that eye line? But what if they'd expect me to think like that and have positioned themselves to exploit that? I mean, I could just walk away, but what if they are still in there? That would mean I need to watch my back as well, and hostility is so omnipresent in this world that an open door can cause legitimate panic. I'm trying to force myself into the minds of other people I don't know to second guess their potential double bluffs that might not even be a thing. I honestly can't remember the last time a multiplayer game made me think like that. It's pretty raw in what it makes you confront about yourself and how you read other people. And ultimately, this is what I'm talking about. Combat here isn't simply reduced to who can click on the opposing cluster of pixels first before respawning and repeating the process, nor is it simply about how much blood is on the screen. It's almost more about the violence you inflict upon yourself simply by putting yourself in this situation. I feel like as a result of this, I have a story for every death and every kill that has a painful, gut-wrenching tension building up to the sudden catharsis of shots being fired. Battlegrounds' design allows it to present violence not as a triviality to be accepted as a norm of competition, but something to be feared. As a result, it feels more meaningful than any multiplayer game I've experienced in recent memory. So I hope you enjoyed my piece on PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. If you did, why not hit subscribe as well as the little bell thingy, share it with a friend, and check out the podcast in the description. If you want to go the extra mile, however, and get some goodies in the process, you can always support my Patreon just like these lovely individuals currently on screen. Your support means the absolute world and truly helps me dedicate more time to the show. For that, I cannot thank each and every one of you enough. Special thanks go to Iego Foxo Booza, Justin's Holderness, James Doring, Biggie Smith, Mark B. Writing, Peter, Artyom Vitsyuk, Christian Kuhneman, Nico Blakely, Nicholas Ross, and Charlie Yang. And with that, I'm Hamish Black, and this has been Writing on Games. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.